Legendary, baby. Jeff Davis Show worldwide. It's 6 December 2018. Year of my Lord, 2018. Currently, folks, the Jeff Davis Show is an internet empire. You don't believe it? Do a Google search of the Jeff Davis Show. Legendary Jeff Davis Show, baby, worldwide. Don't believe it? Google Jeff Davis Show. Now, I want to emphasize that that's just at this very moment, as far as I know. We live in such dangerous times and such a dangerous world that things change minute by minute, week by day by day, week by week. The world order could shut down the internet. They could crash the world financial markets. Or they could get a nuclear war going. And that's going to be the topic of this particular YouTube. Now, this is one of those YouTubes. If it's allowed to stay up on the internet for any amount of time, and people share it and whatnot, this will be one of the greatest YouTubes on planet Earth. They just don't get no better than this. This is 30 years of research in a 15, 20-minute YouTube. Google it, baby. Jeff Davis Show. Now, this particular broadcast is focusing on planned New World Order human depopulation. It's called, here's my baby Alvin. He always likes to join in on the legendary Jeff Davis Show broadcast, and that's fine with me. He's one of our babies. Now, some of my research takes me back to the 1970s when people like Henry Kissinger, Trilateral Commission hack Henry Kissinger, David Rockefeller, 80s, 90s, Trilateral Commission founder, Prince William, the Prince, black nobility, has actually publicly stated and publicly written that he believes the world has too many people on the earth, too many useless eaters. So this has been, there's actually public, now I'm not going to get the documents out. You're just going to either have to trust me or do the research yourself. I've been broadcasting this kind of information for 30 years. And when I've actually sat in live television studios and presented the documents of Henry Kissinger's global depopulation plan in front of a camera in a live TV studio. I'm not going to do that on this YouTube broadcast. You either believe me or you do the research yourself. We still currently live, I say currently, at least at this very moment, as far as I know, the greatest information age the world has ever known with the internet. You can Google all this stuff, at least at this time. Google the Great Culling. That's what's going on. That's what has been going on. So these people actually have publicly written and stated about they believe there's too many useless eaters on the planet and ways to resolve it. Now, this isn't something that's in the future or planned, or this was planned, like I say, according to my research, at least back into the 1970s. The execution of the Great Culling, the human depopulation, at least began in 1991 with Desert Storm. where Iraqis, men, women, and children were bombed and slaughtered. And then it began with this endless war on terror bullshit. Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya, Somalia, Yemen being ripped apart. It's unknown number of millions of people that are being slaughtered around the world, particularly in the Middle East. We'll never know, because the same people that are doing the slaughtering are the same people that control the CFR media here in America, and they don't want you to know that maybe 20 million people have been bombed and starved in the Middle East for over the last 30 years. They want you talking about Michael Flynn and Putin and North Korea threat and shit like this. But the fact is that the human depopulation, the Great Culling, has been executed for at least 30 years, and probably before that. I would suspect that the international bankers took control of the America's money system in 1913 with the Federal Reserve Act. Many of these same bankers took control of America's media system and ultimately the world media system with the Council on Foreign Relations in 1919. And since that time, it's just been perpetual war for perpetual peace. And it has more to do with invading and attacking these countries to shore up Rothschild central banks, stealing nations' resources like they did in Iraq. They stole Iraq's gold, oil reserves in Yemen and some of these other countries. And in fact, the Fed Bank Finance, United States military currently is protecting Afghanistan opium fields until at least scheduled 2024. That's for the black nobility and the Queen of England and the Committee of 300 international drug trade. So they're protecting opium fields, and they're stealing nations' resources, and and then as a third thing, they're bombing and starving millions of people, and that's an added bonus, because these world order people believe that there's Prince William has publicly stated that there's too many people on the earth, too many useless eaters. So, and he's the prince. So you just annihilate them. And that's what's been going on in the Middle East for the last 30 years, and probably since the founding of the Fed and the Council on Foreign Relations going back 100 years ago. Because it's just been perpetual war for perpetual peace. World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Middle East has just been bombed and slaughtered. Like I say, for 30 years, it's really impossible to know how many people. Tens of millions of people. Now, these people are capable. Like I say, these are extremely dangerous times for the entire world population. Dangerous world. These people are capable. I wouldn't guess what would be their next move to really depopulate a lot more. Maybe hundreds of millions, if not billions. But they have tools at their disposal. They could create nuclear wars. They could crash the entire world financial system. They could close down the worldwide internet. They could do anything. They literally have the world by the balls, except for the Jeff Davis show, who sees right through it. So I've had people tell me about this Great Culling, for decades that a great culling is coming. And it's not coming, it's been happening for decades. People are just being slaughtered, bombed and starved all over the world. That's the Great Culling. NWO Human Depopulation. And don't think that it's not possible of coming to a location near you. These people are capable of anything, particularly if they're desperate and they feel they have their backs up the wall, like the Jeff Davis show believes they do. So once again, baby, this is 5 December 2018, legendary Jeff Davis show, baby, worldwide. You don't believe the Jeff Davis show legendary, at least at the time while it's still available, Google it. And there's all kinds, the best information, best entertainment in the world, bar none. So with that, baby, I say to hell with this human depopulation and this great culling. The tide, I believe, is going to turn on these people, and their games are going to come crashing down. It's just a matter of time. So once again, baby, Google Jeff Davis show. 2 final things. George Orwell, in his book 1984, wrote that during times of universal deceit, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act. The legendary Jeff Davis show, baby, just performed a revolutionary act. Number 2. Couple of weeks here, you got Christmas coming up. With all their supposed ties to Jesus. It's not tied to Jesus. In fact, it's the antithesis of Jesus. Jeremiah 10, I believe, this clearly indicates that during the time Jesus was alive, the heathen would go into the woods and, like the work of a man in the forest with his axe, they cutteth down a tree and they deck it with silver and with gold. Just like organized religion peddles you. Catholics, Protestants, they all peddle December 25th as Jesus' birthday, which it wasn't. These are the same organized religions that are peddling the same endless wars, just like the world politicians and the world media, all peddling endless wars for the Great Culling. So, once again, baby, Google it. Google Jeff Davis show while it's still available, because no one knows. Dump Santa. Love Jesus. Peace out. Baby.